a chance to go to the US right now, you have a 5-month-old baby, will you decline that offer?
Regardless, me personally, I want to be a stay-at-home wife. I want to take care of my husband. I want to take care of my kids.
Now you're just a stay-at-home. You don't have work. How will you
How do you
survive?
handle that?
I take care of the house. I feed the babies. I make sure he comes.
The controversy with love comes this way. You want to leave the Nigeria before and want the privileges of this.
Okay, fine.
Hi guys, I know it's been a minute, but we are back like we never left, and today I am joined by 2 guests on board, and I'm also with my beautiful co-host as usual. Yay.
So we are gonna let our guests introduce themselves. We're gonna start here.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Chris. Popularly known on social media as Rio, but for now just call me Chris.
Ooh.
Yo, guys. My name is Dice. I think you're going to talk a lot.
So let's dive into our today's topic. We have this beautiful lady that was tuitioned by her man, allegedly, and the case in point, or the case study for today's topic, is that after the lady graduated, she realized that the boy was, or the man was, no longer his type. So guys, I want us to dive in. I want us to deep dive into this topic and see the nitty-gritties, or everything that might come and roll around this topic. So Elsie, what do you think?
First of all, I think today's episode is gonna be lit because we have like both the males and the females, so it's gonna be very easy to like get the viewpoints from like both genders and like try to see things from like both angles. Obviously, from like a woman's perspective, I'm not gonna choose sides. Obviously, the guy was wrong and the woman was wrong. Initially, well, they claim to say men that, oh, he used his money to educate the girl, right? But I don't think that is a reason enough to have maybe gotten violent with her to the point of maybe banning her and her almost losing her life. Yeah, well, the men claim that she did not do anything and that she is not entitled to like have changed her mind. But I just think if the guy was paying the money, the girl was also investing sex-wise or other things. So like that's just my own point of view.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say a word on that. Like, I would love to hear from the man when they were starting this relationship. I would like to know what were the terms, like what did they really agree on. Like, if I pay your school fees, are you gonna be my wife in the long run? And by the way, I forgot to mention that this man
He's married.
had a wife.
Period.
Like, what are the dynamics? What are the
The wife.
Yes.
The other girl.
Yes.
Crazy.
Crazy, right?
Crazy.
So
Crazy.
in that situation,
Yeah.
it could be a bit tricky and confusing, because from my view, I'm tending to think that the girl really was feeling like maybe she's invading and ruining another woman's marriage, but the fact that this guy also schooled her.
For me, what I'm saying, like nimecheki kwa hiyo kitu. Like makosa tu mwanaume alikuwa nani kuchoma tu that lady. That only. But then kama mnasema amemsomesha and stuff nini, kumaanisha pia alikuwa na feelings kwa uma. Wezi amka tu once useme I'm going to pay for her school fees. For me, I cannot just wake up and say I'm going to pay for her school fees. It's something that it's very intimate.
Yeah.
So they had a thing.
So one thing that I also understand from the side that I read about this, the Claire side, she's called Claire, right?
Yeah. Claire.
Yeah, the guy is also alleged to be an NIS agent. Not so sure, but of course I hear it. Of course, I read it from the public
NIS is National
Intelligence Service.
Oh.
Yeah. So one thing that I also read about this story is from one, of course, of the guys that that tweets around, speaking about the lady. People suspecting that the person behind the lady's damage, of course, the reason why she's in hospital is the ex-girlfriend of this guy. Yeah, it is alleged that, of course, when the guy walked out of marriage, he started a new life with the lady.
Okay.
So people are suspecting that the lady was dissatisfied about the man stepping out of marriage and starting a new life with Claire. So people are also saying about a woman becoming bitter despite the man walking freely out of that marriage. So now if you read, or also if you listen about this topic of discussion, it's very controversial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless maybe from them you'd hear the real story.
Yeah.
Yeah, like unless we hear from both
Sides,
ends.
you can be sure, of course.
Yeah, but for now we just alleged.
But definitely, all these are vices. We can't support either side.
Yeah.
Maybe the wrong came from
Maybe,
the man or the woman. Those are all vices that we can support.
Also, maybe to just add on that, you said the guy allegedly was working in there, and what?
Yeah, National Intelligence Service, NIS.
So, over the past few days, there has been like a continuous behavioral activity that has been going on. Maybe these people that work with maybe something to do with the security have been actively acting upon the women, whether they are their wives. Even the other day there was also another thing about someone who was working on like the DCI that also killed the women. So it's also something about maybe those people in like departments like those ones that are also like removing, I don't know, their anger on like their women to be particular, which also that is a topic to talk about some other time, but like that is also something that we've noticed over these stories that have been up.
Yeah. Of course, lately we have been hearing all these. We can categorize it under gender-based violence, of course, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been hearing all sources, how that has been happening. Men are affected, women are affected, but most importantly, we see that greatly women are affected.
Yeah, sure.
The gender-based violence. So what I think must be spoken, of course, that we also have to understand is that behind all this that are happening, there's been a bad relation between men and women on how to solve conflicts. Because burning somebody, I don't know if it was hot water or acid, that's the worst thing you can do to an enemy.
That's bad.
But also to like add on that, there has been 2 cases in the span of the same month. The Claire story, and then there's also another guy that was banned
by
that is why I want you to like chip in. And
So what I can say about that, on my side, I feel like this generation imekuja kuwa na like a lot of things. Like unaona ikikam to this marrying and stuff, this generation imekuwa crazy because a guy anaweza amua I'm going to marry at 30 and stuff, like anataka tu ku
have fun,
pursue to live the life, get and a lady pia anaweza samua siku hizi ladies unapata lady anataka akiwa 30 nini so generation kabisa imekuja ika change. So what I can say, I think times are changing. And the way they are changing naona ni kama venye si tumeadapt in a bad and a good way at the same time. So as Gen Zs tuko na vitu tunafaa ku consider a lot, tunafaa change some things because hapo unasema that man had a wife, then akakuja ka pursue Claire. Una get kia jaribu kusema. So I feel like we are fucked up when it comes to ladies and stuff and men also.
And I'm seated here wondering, in such a case, what does the law do like to serve justice to Claire or the other guy that you mentioned? I wish I had researched how such laws apply in the Constitution, and I'm just eager to hear all of your views on how you think this case should be handled or taken through.
My only thing is, men in this particular case, from like the tweets, the comments, they think that because the guy paid for class tuition fee, he invested. But like, you guys are just being vague and not looking at it from also the other party's perspective. So Claire did not invest. So like, okay, fine, so you paid my school fees and now I decide I don't want you anymore. So now because you invested in my school fees, I did not invest my time. I gave you my years. I invested emotionally, physically. There's so many ways that I also invested. Maybe they cannot be monetized. But then I think men are so blinded by the idea that the man invested. The woman also invested her time. So please let us also remember that factor and
allegedly clearly pursue another relationship, so you cannot say the man had akona kitu anafaa consider, like clearly pursue another relationship.
Yes.
Na clear akiwa naye alikuwa anajua this man is married. Si ndio? So amoni as a lady unafaa pia alikuwa akona consider. Hawezi kuja tu ati msee ameoa like anakuambia I want to do this and that, then unakubali, then wewe unaenda na pursue another relationship, bado uko na umse like one lady pia kuna makosa in a way.
But
I think Claire was just naive, and also she was just after her win. I mean, after I get the studies, after I get the competence, the required competence and requirement, like I'll be just done with this guy. I think Claire, and I know many ladies will crucify me for this, but I think, and I'm not taking any sides, the guy was wrong to do inhumane things he did to her. But then I think Claire saw the future.
Yeah.
Like, wacha mimi nisomeshwe, and then I'll know how to nitamtoka.
Yeah.
I think she knew the game.
Yeah.
But then again, to solve this issue, most men of course were on the side of the guy. Some even jump ship and went on the side of the guy.
Quite a number were on the guys, even on TikTok.
Yeah.
The reactions were crazy.
With the common phrase simps will see dust, because people always consider men who do all these roles to women to be simps.
Yeah.
Because they always do this with an obligation of getting favors from the lady or even a future family. Of course, most men who do this, they always have that mentality that in the long run the woman will be mine, of course, this which doesn't come to be,
What I can add on that, na feel like the low pande yetu, the low ijakuwa fiti, like hilo.
You mean the men?
The government. We have been having these cases, sindio? But at the end of the day tunaonanga tu amekopinga amepeleka tu jela, but then after utokanga tu, to be honest, utokanga tu. So I feel like the law itself as Kenyans, do you know when Koko Maju tuseme for example America, just nikikwambia wewe ni mjinga na kuwe na witness, amesikia nimekwambia hivyo, ikienda kwa akikusiwa iende kwa koti, it will be something serious, and you're going to face the consequences. But as Kenyans, typically Kenyans, Africans, when you umbwa, when you nani, we don't really care. Like the law inakwanga, mimi na feel like law yetu iko fucked up a lot. Iko very fucked up a lot.
Mimi naona tu hivi manzi, hata kama mtu atakuwa na relationships chwani, nikipenda na leo na Chris, tuende pale hivyo kwa DO, tuandikane terms and conditions.
There should
sign. Mimi manzi, kama nimesema sitaki kuchezwa, ukinicheza, wewe ni pesha yangu, napata nini? I invested my time. Nikikucheza you get also something. Hakuna time ya kuwaste someone's time, someone's emotions, investment, and that is even the best. Kwa sababu ina favor both the men and the women. Justified laws kama marriage vile iko.
Touching on your point, a while ago there was a discussion on marriage and divorce, and there was this whole conversation. I don't know if it was really a conversation or a rule or a law that say that if a man and a woman are married legally, when it with papers, wacha ile ya come to stay, wacha come to ishi, when we go to declare or announce our divorce, separation with the wealth or what we have at hand should be 50-50.
Yes, as it should.
okay, take this example. You are a stay-at-home wife. Your man goes all out, sweats, works it all out, and then you do you think
I sweat at home, I take care of the house, I feed the babies, I make sure he comes, I make sure his clothes are clean.
So do you think
I support him emotionally in bed? Yes, so we are
either way
sweating.
So do you think you should take the land in Kitusuru and the man should take the mansion in Karen?
Yes.
Or
yes.
do you think it should be 50-50?
Yes, 50-50.
What do you guys think?
Kulikuwa na kitu tunazitoza feminism. But to be honest, nowadays feminism iliisha. Iliisha. Always sema a lady squeeze actually nowadays. I can give you an experience. Like nilisoma IT and stuff. So I went to apply for a job. Na a lady came. Papers zilikuwa tofauti. Nilikuwa na offer paper ina make sense than the lady. But then, do you know the lady got the job?
Pretty
The funny thing, the lady got the... I don't know what happened. I don't really know what happened. I don't really know what happened.
Pretty
But then, so I feel like, saizi, as a man, I feel like kama na pursue a lady, I feel a lady anafaa kuwa na something to offer to the table.
Yes,
na anafaa kuwa na akili.
Na
anafaa kuwa na kazi. So hata kiwa 50, tukienda ku divorce 50-50, hata yako na wealth. Ako na wealth, unaweza sema I can take something from her. It's not a man ati ladies are working out here. Okay? Guys, ladies have money. Ladies have money.
I know, yeah.
They have money. So at the end of the day, I feel like kama kuna do in a kind of way, look for someone and match your status. Don't look for someone below or above. Mtu ana match your status.
So like plus marriage, do you know, like hypothetically, if now me and you met, we are young, right? And now we are gonna look for wealth. I promise we're gonna look for wealth, and then maybe when we get around 40s, when we are divorcing, bro, we are not the same way that we were. We have houses, we have cars, we have businesses. It makes sense to me. Kuniambia ati now only one person was working. Regardless, me personally, I want to be a stay-at-home wife. I want to take care of my husband. I want to take care of my kids. I want to do just... I am not saying I am currently working hard. Excuse me,
Don't be a stay-at-home
No,
I know. Just work hard.
Sikizeni niwaambie, unaona sasa kuna two categories of men. Sasa me personally, nikenye tu mtu anataka, si eti nataka kukaa hivyo kwa sababu ati mimi ni lazy or anything. It's just that because I have seen what children not having a present mom or a present, ni kama tu like people deal with life from different perspectives. As someone who grew up with both parents being busy, now there are things that I liked as a child that I don't want my kids to learn. Now I'm like, oh, okay, I'd rather take care of my kids in this way. It's not because I am lazy or stupid. Right now I don't have a man, to be honest. I am mtu akinichukua sahi aniowe, ajanipata nikikaa vibaya, to be very honest. They either maintain me or leave me or either want to level me up. Because I work hard right now, and I'm not even like the best or like the richest woman, but me na grind. Sasa I'm saying lazima hata si akinipata tu hivi venye niko najaribu nipande tu juu. Huwezi kuwa na mtu mwenye
to add on that. Kenza kwambia wewe unasema unataka kuwa stay-at-home mom, si ndio? Nikuulize swali.
Uliza.
At the end of the day, as when you are stay-at-home mom, so at the end of the day ni the man and look for the money and stuff. You're just staying at home. Pia unafaa kujua saizi money comes, money goes.
Yes.
At the end of the day, this man can have the money, but then anaweza kuja sote. Na get na kisota na you're just a stay at home, you don't have work. How will you survive?
Do you handle that?
You should love it should be a two-way street. A two-way street.
Hata mkungojeni malize. So me, I was just saying I want to be a stay at home when I do things that I'm passionate about. When I am doing things I like, if me personally I like beauty, I may have a little business or whatever, but it's not because Chris, you're like, my wife is working so hard to bring the income. No, you're just like, my wife has a business, so that she just has something. She's into sit in touch biashara ididimie, but like Nila, like my wife works because she wants to work, not because she has to work.
Chris.
Iyo.
So Elsie, I was about to support you when you pulled.
Kwanza tusikie venye Chris anasema.
Okay.
Chris,
Okay.
you're man. I feel like nataka kusikia your take on
Yes,
this.
same.
Your take on, she's a stay-at-home mom. You also take on that.
Of course, this is
Yeah.
this really has to change because
Yeah.
of course this topic of stay at home mom, or rather the equality, of course,
Yeah.
in terms of roles, or rather how a family is built. This has been controversial, of course, because it has changed from our time, from the times of
Over
our
time.
grandmothers, our mothers, and to the present one.
Yeah.
You know, Kitambo, you're so sure when the women were married, they were not doing like the outdoor jobs, you know?
It was just
The role of a woman in the traditional African society was to nurture the child,
take care of the home.
take care of the home, of course, and that's why they were married.
But then the currency came and changed
Then
it.
when things changed,
Yeah.
whereby now people had to go to school, people had to go to work, you know. So
People are civilized.
people are civilized.
Yeah.
And from this, of course, it even brought about now equality in genders. So if it's equality in genders, there should be equality everywhere.
But see, the problem is hadi hapo tuko tick, but then my problem is equality kwa gender. You'll find you go to work, me as a wife or her as a wife, me I'm a stay-at-home wife, maybe I'll do everything, but then you go to work, she goes to work, but then you are entitled for her to come and now do the cleaning again, do the cooking again, so now she is overloaded.
Umesahau kitu
Tulia,
moja.
ngoja kwanza nimalize.
Kwani-
Give me time.
Yeah.
Tuko very right na hapo penye mnasema, by the way, kama if me I was to be like a working woman, then the gender roles hapo hautaniambia ati now because you're my wife, clean for me my clothes, you have to cook for me, like
But-
kunafaa kukuwa na balance.
But I really see if you decide to be a stay-at-home woman
I will do it.
in the current world, current society, to me I feel like you're living in the past.
Yeah.
Because different. That's why you're bringing controversy.
Amanza kuleta hizo stories za mababu.
Yeah, of course.
Babu,
Not even about the stories
Wahenga.
about the babu. She'd be living in a modern life, yes, but she's trying to live the past. Why am I saying this? You know, in the past, when women were doing all this and the men were taking the upper parts where they could provide and unapata with time. Women are fighting for equality because they felt like they're not schooled, they're not allowed to stay at home.
They're not empowered.
Yeah, so it's like you are voting for a way of life that was used in the past.
Is now you have an options to pick.
Yeah, so when you're doing that, it means this man will handle like the past.
I don't know, guys.
Yeah,
Let me
like,
check
like,
this out.
like,
Yeah,
like
let me
the
check this out.
traditional
Africans.
woman that
Yes.
you are.
Let me tell you something.
Comment down below, guys.
Yeah,
Because
let
me, I
me
don't
tell you
think
something. I stay at home mom. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. So, cheki. Ukianza kuleta hivyo, kumbuka kitu moja.
Nini?
Kitambo. Do you know ukishikilia chwani hivi kitambo, mwanaume akishikilia chwani hivi ingie kwa duka. Alikuwa anatoka na paper bag imejaa hivi. Na anakuja kwa nyumba. Beba chwani yako saizi ingie kwa duka. Niambia utakaa na mkate. Hata mkate joshi mkate.
Chwani hata ibai.
Haitoshi mkate.
so nyi mnasema aje?
Kajaribu kusema ni moja.
Eh.
Gen Z's kuna venye tumekuja tuka like I feel like kuna venye tumeadopt na hii life in a way. In a way like tumelearn kucope na hii life. Na I feel like naona saizi tunafaa kuwa spoken. Yani tunafaa kuwa like kila platform. Government tunafaa kuwa na wasee kila
Everywhere.
so at the end of the day as sisi sasa wewe ukisema you are stay at home mom unaanza kuturudisha
Nyuma.
ni millennium mama ni baby boomer
1904.
wale huko hao walikuwa wanakaa kwa nyumba juu wanajua at the end of the day
Wanasugua
na kama
coin.
hiyo time
Yeah,
men
sure.
had privileges men walikuwa unaona hiyo time ukienda na mwanaume aende kazi yekelewe hivi mwanaume ndiye alikuwa kwa
Actually,
kazi
the controversy will now come in this way. You want to live the 1904 and want the privileges of
Yeah.
this.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Like Elsie,
No,
let me
how?
allow me to go
How?
first.
Yeah.
I was about to support you as a lady, but when you pulled the mom having times to nurture and bond with their kids, I was about to support you on that, but then I realized that time really is created. Time really is created.
if you want to
A point in case, I work Monday to Friday in an office setup, right?
Yeah.
I am also a content creator, right? So I do not work Saturday and Sunday. I do not work from 9 a.m. to 12. in the night. So I will get home, do homework with my kids, go out with my kids on the weekends, and I think that is just enough bonding time.
So what happens when now you're promoted and now you have to travel? You are kind of now you're a businesswoman. Now you're a businesswoman. You're very empowered. You're all of that. You're probably like a CEO. You maybe gave birth to a 6-month-year-old, and now you have a board meeting in Rwanda.
Does a 6-month have memory like?
No, I'm just saying, would you be okay to leave the child and go work?
No, of course, in my contract there are terms. Once you've given birth, you have
the
maternity.
period.
No. Hear me out. Calm down. Relax. Cool down. Breathe in. Breathe out. So in my contract, once I signed that contract, they looked at all aspects when it comes to a woman, when it comes to grieving, when it comes to maternity, and all those factors. So when I give birth, I have a whole 6 months to bond with my baby. And the person who set up the rules, probably a professional doctor was involved, a professional psychiatrist was involved, and all other medical aspects. They were involved in order for them to come up with a 6-month duration. You
Reality
me? You get me?
Hakuna mwanaume mwenye sai, hata hao wenye wako hapa guys in the comment sections, hakuna mwanaume mwenye atakubali kuachwa na mtoto wa 6 months hata kama bibi yake kidogo tuanze nimalize.
Don't we have nannies? Don't we have mother-in-laws? Don't
Maybe
we have
now.
our mothers? Don't we have
Some of us don't have mothers. We cannot afford
That's
nannies.
why I said our mother-in-laws, nannies, sisters, husbands who are actually dedicated and are
to
for
add
it.
on that guys, skizeni, to add on that, acha nikwambie, tukiwa like penye tuko saizi, mimi actually me on my side, mi si feel like ati mtoto ajua amezaliwa unafaa kuwa na yeye till morning till evening ndo ati mtoto ajua unampenda.
I know.
Mtoto so long as una provide, mtoto anaishi vizuri, at the end of the day, bila wewe kwenda kazi, bila mimi kwenda kazi, mtoto hawezi kuwa penye yako sahihi. So times are changing, just know that. Na hakuna mtu atakuwa present all the time just because ati you're my child and stuff. Na hapo kwanza to be present kwa child, hiyo design unamfanya kwanza anakuwa baby a lot. Ana grow mentally na kuwa mjinga. Ama mjinga. Mwisho anafaa kuwa ini live, bro, ini live.
Check it.
Ini live.
That's on the father side.
Ini live.
You have a chance to go to the US right now. You have a 5-month-old baby. Will you decline that offer? Niambia tu. Like, you're going for greener pastures. Will you decline the offer since you're saying you want to mother your baby, you want to nurse your baby, you want to show love, you want to be intimate with your baby? You're invited to the US, you have a very good position role. Yenye inakuletea kichele na si kichele ndogo. Kichele in caps.
Me, I get what you're saying,
answer,
but I would not even be employed by. I would not personally. Like a way of life ya mtu. Me, I would not want to be that type of person.
Me says when I have a lady and you have a child.
No, you haven't answered me.
To be honest, whenever like personally, mi kama mimi stress zaka mtoto saizi juu najua mtu akikuja story na come nayo like hata Chris takuwa na chill na wewe Chris takuwa na chill na wewe hata takuwa na shoot because unless because mtu akikam hata hivyo wanasema kitambo alikuwa semanga mtoto kuja sahani yake lakini
hakuna sahani
hata kijiko kujinayo ni wewe ndo sahani ni wewe ndo kijiko yake. So at the end of the day mimi nipate saizi as you're talking like right now I have a challenge and a lady nipate tu chance niambiwa unakuja nataka uende Canada kuna chance ya kazi fulani na fulani.
Na hajanijibu, amedodge.
Mimi
jibu tuko utaenda utabaki.
Sikizeni ndio waelezee.
Guys, tell us if you're in support of
in support of her.
To just maybe explain, if me I'm gonna I was gonna have a kid with someone, there are valid conversations that are had. Mimi say kazi yenye nafanya, you know Nancy, we travel everywhere.
I know.
We travel every day.
Don't you have technology? Like
the kind of work I need, I have to be on ground. Otherwise kama kungekuwa na technology, pia sisi hatungekuwa na jobs.
Don't you have FaceTime?
Can I just ask you one question?
We don't do
Why are you working?
Because I am looking for myself and to give myself a better future.
Okay.
Kidogo nimalize kuelezea. So me, I'm just saying, before you have kids with your particular partner, it's good to talk about career. Obviously life is gonna change. Me personally, as a person, yes babe, you are working, there's gonna be a baby, now life is gonna change. What would you prefer? I would rather maybe have a certain business, or maybe run something light that also give me the freedom and the ability. Sami nikuwe lazy. I'm just saying I want something that is not I want to have my little thing but also have the freedom and time to kwa sababu nataka hiyo sifai ku get considered as lazy. Get your perspective.
We get you.
So like I want to go to work with my little baby. She doesn't want to go to work with her little baby, which is very fine, but because she's going to work, I'm also going to work. I am not lazy.
But
that is
initially, now you're starting to digress. You're
passionate about Nancy. I say things that I want to be passionate about.
To contradict yourself. Initially, you were not in for any job. You were just
now you're talking about work. You want to work with
now
the
you
baby.
want to open
Why
a
you going
shop
to work with your baby and you're a stay-at-home mom?
Make it make sense.
Kuna option. Ni mnajua kuna watu wenye wako na so much money mpaka the woman is asked, do you know you can?
Unajua how they got the money?
I am not saying, but it's good, Chris. You're older. Help me understand these people that you see now that they have the struggle mentality. And I'm not saying this the wrong way. Not everyone is looking for money like this. There are people who have it.
There's that.
There's people who have it. And there's a man that's gonna tell the woman, I know you want the money. Maybe that money is 5% of what we need even here. I am not saying it is nothing. But would you really want to pursue that, or you have the option to do X, Y, and Z?
Chris,
and this
am I justified to say that?
I like to hear your take on that. Tafadhali. Your take
Baba,
on that.
before Chris goes, am I justified to judge and to say that in the long run you just want a big shot that has all the money and everything to sustain all that? Am I justified to say that?
Well, who said it's wrong to want a big shot?
It's not wrong. It's
yes,
not wrong.
I do want a big shot.
Yeah, it's a yes.
I
or
do
no.
want.
It's a yes or no.
I do want a big shot. I do want a big shot.
Remember this, guys. Let me tell you something. As a man, nimeikuwa sina pesa, nimeikuwa niko na pesa. But to be honest, as a man, when I get money, it will be very hard for me to love a woman, because I don't know. She's loving me for the money, or just who am I?
They've left women who started with them from the ground. So what do you think?
I mean, that's another thing.
There's no formula.
There's no formula to this thing. If you can pick something that ni kama venye usema uchague mwenye anakuliliza kwa Range Rover, uchague mwenye anakuliliza kwa baiskeli, kulia ni kulia.
There's a song, there's this dance song before we wrap up the session that sings Heliurie kwenye Range Rover, ukose usingizi runda.
Yes, me nice.
I can quote on someone. Me. You guys, you should listen to Scam Cardinali. Scam Cardinali, on his one of his episodes, alisema kitu moja. Aliamka udem wamegrow na yeye, ikafika pahali, I don't know what happened, kuna udem sijui alikuwa anamchukulia aje, but Ska ikafika point akaona udem vile ananibeba. Do you know, he just woke up once, akasema mimi naenda kazi, akavaa nguo na katoka, na hivyo nalitokanga jirudi kwa nyumba tena.
Shock delete.
Na katoka do you know why? Bro, I cannot grow with you. But then sasa atijumona nani anataka sijui nini na nini, alafu pia unataka hivyo, na unaona situation tuko sina hiyo ama si
guys, comment down below if you can get it easy. Always pick the easier way, my ladies. Struggle doesn't aina reward, to be very honest. Like, and hata wenye nawaambia hapa, we're always told work smart, not hard. And you've heard that 1,000 times. So if you can get it, I mean, plus don't be naive and just think you deserve it. You have to be smart about things.
Do you
So
know?
guys, we wanna wrap up. We wanna wrap this up.
Okay,
We will let the audience
Yes.
comment
Yeah.
and tell us their sentiments or their thoughts, what they think about this. It has been a beautiful episode, lovelies. Make sure you do subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend. Do anything. There's a till number on the screen. Tuma za cabbage. Ama utume za mutura. Ama niaje guys.
Yes.
Until next time.